Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So funny, whenever I am driving, which is when I record my podcast. Actually, it's been a little different today. Usually it's drive back from dropping off the kids at school, and then on my way home, it's not even a 10-minute drive, so a lot of times I end up sitting in my driveway and finishing this podcast, this conversation with you. But today, chiropractic appointment, a few groceries, picked up some lovely flowers and plants, bring some beauty and life into our home, and here we are together. And I when I think of what I'm podcasting, it is in the moment, what feels most true for me? What is the message I'm feeling compelled to really share? And as I'm listening to this song from this new artist that I found on Spotify, which is called Bowl of Light, and this has kind of been my theme from when I had a session with a beautiful coach of mine last night, and another coach on Tuesday night. And just like, man, life is interesting and challenging and hard some days. And, we're all doing our best and we're all healing and unwinding all this shit, This is why I'm so devoted, compassionate, passionate about leading women through this journey. Because, I've gone through it and still going through it, right? It's a lifelong thing of who am I and what am I here for, and what's holding me back, and let me examine all this stuff that's under rocks, which is the pieces of my soul that I have buried so deep, and are a lot of the pieces that I haven't really uncovered or explored, and are the pieces holding me back. And I gotta unwind this subconscious program that I'm in. It's just this pattern. I'm just looping on it, right? And so really helping women to go through this process. But yet at the same time, we can spend time, and we need to be in that darkness at times. It does have some purpose. That pain has absolute purpose and meaning. It's not for naught. I want you to know that right now. Whatever you've experienced or experiencing in your life right now, or will experience in the future, it all serves. All of it. You don't have to know at the time what is the meaning, what is the purpose, what is the service that it's doing. I'm going to invite you to consider, to be open to the possibility that it is serving you or somebody else in some way, the collective consciousness in some way, and just let go of trying to figure it out and just know, okay, it serves, right? It's the same way. I've used this analogy recently on an episode of, you're going to be driving in your car, right, as I'm driving right now, and we're going to trust that everyone's following the rules of the road, right? We don't go, oh my God, they're going to hit me. Oh my God, what does this mean? Oh my God, we're trusting, right? You have to be able to drive, unless you're tensing the white knuckle grip in the wheel the whole way, which can be your experience sometimes after a car accident, right? I think most of us have been in car accidents. Have you had one before where it's afterwards, they're a little shaky, but you got to get back behind the wheel. You got to get back on the horse again. And we're going to be so I think a lot of times we have these quote unquote accidents in life, these traumas, these wounds, these experiences, these conversations, this hurt, this pain, and we're afraid. But yet, unlike driving a vehicle, eventually we kind of let go, most of us, of that stuff, and we're it's okay, it's been a couple of months. You just kind of get past it, right? You move past it. You move past it because you continue to just kind of do the thing, which is you get in the car and you drive. And you start to settle into again of I'm still alert when I'm driving the car, but I don't have to be panicky about everything that's happening. Just let that go, right? And just relax as I drive, and I have the gratitude of having a vehicle and being able to go places, and wow, this is so cool, and that I have this. But yet a lot of times in life we don't get past the accidents. We hold on to them. Ego loves it. It's like ammunition for ego/fear, which says, see, don't trust, don't open, don't do any of that stuff. Bad shit's coming. I remember being in practice years ago and having, I don't know if it was an Alberta thing where I live, but I don't know, have you heard this phrase before? Where people go, well, bad things happen in threes. I'm what? What says who? That's ridiculous. Yeah, they happen in threes because you believe that. You're attracting that shit. That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But yet we tend to kind of live our lives on this thing of waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the bad thing to come up, focusing on so much on the shit that's not working well in our life that we can't even see the good. And what I'm not saying is to ignore the challenges of your life right now that need attention, that need work, that need understanding, that need compassion, that need time. Right? That need maybe figuring out a little bit too. Less figuring it out, more feeling it out. Yeah. Let me repeat that one again. Less figuring out and more feeling it out. The answers are never really in our head. Understand that. As smart as you are, that's not where the answers come from. And you know that too. But man, we place such emphasis on our intellect, right? And ego too wants to go, ooh, look how smart we are. And yeah, like, own your intelligence. Awesome. That's not where the answers lie. In the figuring out. It's from the feeling it out. So what does this all have to do with today's podcast episode? Holy shit, Karen. Tangent there, tangent there, tangent there. I always seem to bring it back at some point. So just hang in. Stay with me, sister. Stay there, brother. We're good. We're good. So we focus so much on all the things that we don't want. And we miss all the goodness. Let me give you another analogy. Parenting, okay? You know when it's like with your first one, or maybe when the kid's really little, you kind of like you panic and worry about things, and you might look back on pictures, Facebook memories, right? And you go, I was so stressed back then. I missed a lot of stuff. I was so focused on the stuff like, oh my God, they're not sleeping through the night. Oh my God, they're not eating now. Oh my God, the tantrums. Oh my God, right? That we missed a lot of things. And that's okay. We just did what we knew to be best at the time. If you have more than one child, you tend to, I don't have the experience of two, but tend to kind of just chillax a little bit more into the second one. And maybe if you have 3 and 4 plus, they're just kind of like, they're good. Like, right? You just relax. And then with our second one, I kind of realized those late night, middle of the night feedings that I was just like, oh man, I'm going to soak this in, because now I'm realizing we're having 2 and like, this is the second one, and wow, these will end at some point. And I was a lot more present with Kai than I ever was with Tyson when he was a baby, just because, I was trying to figure it all out. But I missed a lot of those things. And so I want you to know right now that when you're focusing on all the things that aren't going wrong in your life, that are going wrong in your life right now, that aren't going the way that you expected, that you were delivered like a bomb on your lap recently, or a month ago, a year ago, or it's coming, that it is those times more than ever that you need to be the light, that you need to focus on the good. So not even just to be in the light, be in the, like, what is good in my life right now? Like a little piece, right? It's like the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is, hell yeah, a practice. It's not just, well, I feel good, now I'm grateful. That's like saying, I'm going to only go to the gym when I'm feeling ripped and tight and like, oh, I feel in great shape. It's ridiculous, right? I'm going to only eat well when I feel like, I don't know, my body feels good. No, you continue to do those things, those habits, those practices, no matter what, right? Because they're getting you a result. They're getting you the outcome that you want. It's an alignment with who you truly are. And being in the light is who you truly are. We are light beings on this planet. We are here not just to be in the light. We are the light. Be the light. Be the light. You're allowed to be in the dark too, by the way. This isn't about, I'm not going to whitewash positivity on something that's like, you just lost someone maybe. Like my dad passed away about 2.5 months ago. I was just talking to a really good friend of mine who's also my chiropractor, and it was a classmate of ours when we were in chiropractic college together that passed away about a year ago from just like, maybe a 3-4 year battle with cancer, like the nicest human being in the world. He was so, and I said to my friend Craig, like, hey, have you heard from his wife recently? He's like, no. And it's been just come up a year from our friend John is passing, and Craig was incredibly close to him, and we just kind of talked about like, it's still hard, these things. Like, grief is grief. Like, it's hard. So again, it's just, whatever you're going through, this is not to like just put a lot of sprinkles and sparkles on it, okay? But it's understanding that things begin to shift in your life And the healing happens when we begin to shift our focus onto what is good. What is good? What is good? And being the light for yourself and for others, knowing that you don't have to get it from other places. Now, sure, you can listen to this podcast and maybe there's something that just comes through to you. It's my hope, at least. It's a reason why I do this. It's a reason why I started Women Wanting More over 4 years ago with this podcast, and then became coaching online courses and retreats and all this great stuff. My hope is that me being the light the best way that I can every single moment, showing up as I can the best that I can every single day, will allow you to be able to see the light in yourself and to turn that on. But you being the light first and foremost for you, and knowing that when you are that light, that beam, whether it's just a moment of holding a door for somebody as you walk out of a store and they walk in, whether it's a moment of smiling and being present at your child who's so excited to show you something. Mommy, let me show you. Whether it is time that you spend with a friend who just really needs to be seen and heard, whether it's what you do with whatever you do in work that just lights you up and people see you and they go, wow. Whatever version, whatever scale that you're on of that we are here to be the light. And we can't have light without knowing dark. So again, I don't want you to do the spiritual bypassing, right? Which is like, let me just skip over all the hard shit and then let's get to the, be the good and da-da-da. No. You can't, that doesn't work that way. And it's not true, then it's not authentic because it's not, right? You got to know the way that you'll know the light is because you've experienced that dark. Whatever that dark looks like for you in your life, right? Loss, trauma. Listen, we've all been wounded. This is just it. As kids, we've all been wounded. Unless you had some like incredibly conscious and like awake parents, which if you did, oh my God, thank them again and again and again because it is rare. And not because your parents or any of our parents did anything wrong. That was their best. They just didn't know, right? They just didn't, And listen, there is something really significant too that's happening collectively right now, which is a lot of us are carrying the wounds. There was a really interesting study I saw that was kind of all over Facebook recently, talking about that a lot of these traumas and these wounds and the stuff that we're feeling is like they've traced it back in the research to 14 generations. Okay? Up to 14 generations of shit that you and I are carrying right now. There's been a lot of research that kind of takes a look at this, of people bringing up trauma and things. It's like it's not even them. So let me give you an example. By the way, if you want to kind of just understand this, what I'm talking about right now a little bit more, Mark Wolynn, W-O-L-Y-N, wrote a book which is called It Didn't Start With You. Okay? It is unbelievable. I did a session with Mark back in like March of this year. Like, it's huge. It's huge. But here's the example that he often gives in the book is, or one of the examples is Holocaust survivors, okay? Their grandchildren, that whatever stuff they're kind of going through will have these, there was one example, I think, of a woman in the book, who was suicidal or had suicidal ideation, which is like talking about it, but, not really at the point, like you're like planning it out, what you're going to do. And the way that she was going to do it, she was planning was to burn herself, right? And you're like, oh my God, like it's horrific, right? But as they kind of started to like dig back, she was going through the unresolved wounds of grandparents that, had either survived the Holocaust, but, were in concentration camps where people were dying from that way, or perhaps even had grandparents that did die in concentration camps, or were burned. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. If there is within our bodies, this is what was true for us when we were practicing as chiropractors, if within our bodies we've experienced trauma, physical, emotional, chemical, that have not fully healed, your body will go through a process called retracing, which means your body, it's like looping. It's like going through, it's trying to kind of like resolve it. And so what would happen is patients would bring up and go, man, I just feel this like back pain that's just come up. It feels like just like when I had that really difficult birth, or this is the same kind of, neck pain I had, like it feels exactly like when I had that brutal car accident, right? Or this is the kind of gut pain that started after I lost my dad. Like it'll be something where your body's kind of going, we need to complete this now. So we're going to surface it again, because I know you had to bury it at some point, because that was the strategy that you needed at that point. But now you're in a point where we got to deal with it now. So here we go. And it was a very healthy sign. Our patients would tell us this, and it would be very telltale, because they would say almost always, it feels just like when, fill in the blank, okay? Whatever that experience, wound, trauma, physical, chemical, emotional, whatever stuff had happened. And so we would say to them, like, hey man, high five, thumbs up. I'm like, what? Like, no, this is good. Your body's saying we need to complete this healing, right? So a lot of us are walking around with these up to 14 generation of wounds that our lineage, our souls are saying we need to heal this for everybody. Now that's heavy, right? That's heavy. It's heavy. I understand that. I feel called to kind of speak into this a little bit, because I don't know how much it's really, I know it seems so crazy and woo-woo, doesn't it? It's like, well, what do you mean? That's so silly and crazy. And, I don't know, maybe you don't have in your life, you have any kind of a higher power, whatever you describe that as, nature, Mother Nature, the universe, love, God, like whatever, right? Source, the divine. But it's truth. And so it is heavy. It is up to us to be the light, because it is so heavy, because we got to turn, a great mentor of mine, Dr. Arnaud Brunier, chiropractor, said something like, something about getting out of the darkness. In order for us to get out of the darkness, we got to turn on the light, right? And he meant that from a chiropractic standpoint, because when you clear that nervous system, which controls everything, there's more light. There's more life in the body. There's more expression of who we are. Emotionally, it's the same. Physical, emotional, mental, it's all the same. We're all connected, right? Mind-body connection. It's never been disconnected. The only thing that's disconnected has been us and the experiences that we've allowed to shape us. Well, guess what? Now it's time to be the light. Now it's time to step out of the dark. Now it's time to be the light for yourself and for others, and to start to turn on the light within everybody that you know. You can be the catalyst. Do you know this? What a beautiful gift that is. There is no action that is too small that does not have significance. I'm telling you right now. Think of something simple, like if you're in the Starbucks, like drive-through lineup, and you buy somebody's drink, or somebody buys yours, and you buy the next, and buy the next, and buy the next, right? I've talked to baristas before where they go, man, it goes on for a couple of hours. Like, wow. And that literally could just be someone who's having a shit day, and somebody just not randomly, buys them their drink, So funny, but I used to do that. We don't really have drive-through. I guess, no, there is a drive-through in Victoria. I think there's one. I walk in when I go to Starbucks now, or order on my app, and, go in and pick it up and then take it home. But like, I used to do that a lot when we lived in Alberta, because it was drive-through, because it's winter there 6-7 months of the year. And it was funny, the barista would be like, well, do you want to know how much it is first? I'm like, no. I'm just going to do that thing. It doesn't make me like I'm some kind of a saint, but just like knowing that the little thing of, I don't care if it's $3 or $23, like it's not that big of a deal. Like, even if I didn't, I can think of times when I donated money or did stuff when I didn't, $20 was a lot of money, like as a student or something. And I still did it, because I knew the impact that can happen when we give. And so we can think of those things, and we want to give our time, our energy, but we discount how much that we give by simply being the light. Like, you shining bright gives the permission for others to do that too. You become an inspiration, again, that catalyst for transformation in others by you choosing to be the light. But guess what, though? Here's the thing I want you to hear. You need to do it for yourself first. Okay? So your more tip for today is this. It's one of my favorite ones to do. It's the easiest thing. Okay? Either put this as wallpaper on your phone, be the light, title of this podcast episode, or write it on some kind of like a post-it sticky note and put it up all around you today. Or keep it there. Okay? Be the light. Be the light. It's a reminder for you, and it's a reminder for you to be that for others. Be the light. Regardless of what's happening, all the dark that you're in, even if it's a moment at a time, you can choose to be the light. And I love you for that. So let me speak into the Woman Wanting More retreat experience. I'm so excited, sister. Oh my God. There's only 8 seats that are left now. Like, they're going. The last 2 seats went in about 48 hours, like really quickly. So I'm starting to see things are really lining up. The right women are coming who are ready. This is for women that are going through a crisis, crossroads. I mean, it might be you listening to this episode going like, be the light. That's great, Karen. But like, I don't know how to do that right now. I've been trying where I am. I'm going through a ton of like really difficult stuff, but I don't know how to do that. And I need help. And I've realized that I don't need to do this alone. I don't need to do this alone. And so this is designed for women that are just like that, just like you, that are at this crisis crossroads, that don't know what to do, have been trying, but have realized, you know what, if I keep down this path, there's major costs and consequences, and enough. Like, I'm ready for this. So here's the deal. The Woman Wanting More Retreat Experience 2020, which is in January, so about 2 months, it's by application only. It's not for every woman, but it might just be for you. So here's what you need to do to apply. There's 2 ways. Number 1, text me. This has been really cool. A lot of them actually have been texting me this way. Okay? So easy peasy, text me, because I know you're probably listening on your phone right now, the episode. So really easy. You can text me 250-589-4811. Okay? 250-589-4811. And simply say, Karen, I'd like to apply for the retreat. That's it. And then I'll send you application from there. Okay? I had a woman the other day who texted me in the morning. It was like 6 a.m. my time. Messaged her back within, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so. She got her application in. We actually got on the phone that day, like probably 5 hours later. And she was a fit and accepted. Like, boom. Right? That's alignment. So if you're feeling a call in your heart, you're feeling like, wow, like I feel I really need to do this. And by the way, you can also be scared at the same time. Most are like, this is a big jump. Okay, so to understand this, almost all of you will say to me, I've never done an experience like this before. And I'll just kind of with a smile go, I know. Like, that's pretty much most women that I work with. This is like the beginning thing. This is a big thing for them to do. And I honor you at least listening to your heart right now and taking the first step. You will never know if this is something that will work for you unless you actually do it, unless you actually take a step, right? Be in the light for yourself and go, I'm going to step into my courage right now. I'm going to apply. Like, this is really calling to me. So text me 250-589-4811, or you can email me, drkarenosborne@gmail.com. Either way, you can just say, Karen, I'd like to apply for the retreat, and I will connect with you quickly from there. So text is easiest, 250, and fastest, 250-589-4811. I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more really is one step away from you being the light as much as you can every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.